everyone. Today we're going to talk about inverse proportions. For example, what is inverse proportion? For example, we need to build a house. If one person is going to build the house, it will take a longer times. However, if we have 10 people to build a house, the time of taking to complete the entire project will be shorter. Okay, without any further ado, we try to use the key result to see what is inverse proportion. Okay, as the speed of x increases, okay, what happened to the time? The time will be decreases. Okay, this is talk about speed. Likewise, right, if your speed decreases, your x is actually decreases, what happened to your y? Your y will be increases. Okay, we call this as inverse proportion. Okay, this expression tells us that y is inversely proportional to 1 over x, which is also mean that y is inversely proportional to x. Okay, the value of k is actually equals to x times y. Okay, that remains constant as the value of x changes. So in general, okay, for inverse proportions, okay, we can write y inversely proportional to 1 over x. So the general equation is y equals to k over x. Okay, whereby your k we call is proportionality's constant. Okay, I want you to look at the next example. Okay, let's look at this Nelson van hire. Okay, we talk about the van is actually 120 per week for hire. If only one person, okay, hire it, okay, that will cost you $120 per week, which is number of person. Let's plot it at the graph. So one person will cost 120. What about if I have two peoples, okay, hires it? Okay, so the cost we will share among ourselves. So we will take 120 divided by 2, which is 60. So come to this graph, two people, each people only pay for 60. Now, how about three peoples? Okay, three people when we hire, okay, we will take 120 divided by 3, we will get 40. Okay, but we're looking at the graph, right? If we continue to work on it, let's say we work on 6 friends. They're planning to hire. Okay, how much each of them they will need to pay? They only need to pay for $20. So from here, right, we notice for inverse proportion, okay, it will form a hyperbola graph. Okay, that is the major concept about inverse proportion. Okay, let's look at the key result. In the key result, right, the graph of an inverse proportional relationship is, we call them as hyperbola. Okay, as the value of x gets closer to 0, the value of y increases. Okay, you can refer to the above example. rapidly and approaches to infinity. Okay, on the other hand, approaches to infinity, that means they are talk about, you look at that, if I have lesser people, they will approach to infinity from this side. Okay, on the other hand, if we say the x value is getting larger, now we talk about x value getting larger, that means number of people are getting more. What happened to your y? Your y will approach to infinity. So this side will approaching to infinity. Okay, this is the overall concept about hyperbola graph for their inverse proportional. Okay, next bit, I want you to look at this example. Okay, in this example, okay, they talk about the curve, the cost of hiring a transit van. Okay, is inverse proportional. C is inversely proportional to the number of people. Okay, Robert hires the van himself. Okay, that is cost 120. Okay, they ask you to find the cost of per person of a party of 4 person to hire the van. So first of all, right, before we do part A, right, we need to form an equation for inverse proportional. Okay, step 1, we need to form an equations. Okay, that is for inverse proportional. Okay, from here, right, we write C represent the cost of hiring the transits, inverse proportional to 1 over n. In other words, in equation, we will see C equals to K over n. Okay, what is the next bit is we need to find out what is the cost for the the constant K. So what we're going to do, right, now next step, what they say that Robert, only 1 person to hire it. So basically we need to substitute Robert 1 person, n equals to 1, and the cost per week is 120 pounds into the equation. Okay, from here, right, we get is our K is equals to 120 multiplied with 1, K equals to 120. So in other words, right, my equation will become C equals to 120 over n. Okay, after we finish this part, we can start to work it out, part A. In my part A, they say that they ask you to find the cost per person if a party of 4 people hire the van. So come to this, we put C equals to 120. Okay, number of people sharing is actually 4. So for each people, we only need to pay for 30 pounds. That is how you find the inverse proportion. Okay. For B, now they want you to find the number of people. So they want you to find n. If the cost per person is 750. Okay, this time round, we change the equations. Okay, so now number of people, n, is the one we need to find. So from here, right, we know per person cost is 750. So that means that is represents C equals to 750. We put it into equation. 750 equals to 120 over n. So to work out this part, right, we swap n and 750 to find out how many people actually sharing for it. So n equals to 120 divided by 750. Okay, from here, right, I get my n is 16 people. Okay, I hope you will understand the question. Try to complete exercise 21.1, page 6 and 7. Thank you. Bye bye.